Hey everyone, I'm Cameron Hayes and welcome to my garden session. I want to thank Burst Radio and Bristol Uni for having me, and I really hope you enjoy the set. This first track was my first single, which came out last year, and it's called Chemical Love. Running through my bloodstream, can feel it in my heartbeat. I'm as high as the ceiling, hear my body screaming, coursing through my veins, driving me insane. I love what you're dealing, I'm addicted to the feeling. I know it's toxic, but I want it, I won't ever get enough. I'm neurotic, but I love it, baby, you're my drug. It's a chemical love, and I can't give you up, because you're the poison in my brain. I need to hide away the pain. You're my chemical love. It's not like I'm obsessive, I just can't express this. I could stop if I want to, but try breathing without you, 'cause you quench my fears, problems disappear. There's no way that I'm leaving when you save me from feeling. I know it's toxic, but I want it, I won't ever get enough. I'm neurotic and I love it, baby, you're my drug. It's a chemical love, and I can't give you up, 'cause you're the poison in my brain. I need to hide away the pain. You're my chemical love, no, I won't give you up, 'cause you're the hunger in my eyes. I need to feel like I'm alive. It's a chemical love, no, I won't give you up, 'cause you're the poison in my brain. I need to hide away the pain. You're my chemical love, no, I won't give you up, 'cause you're the hunger in my eyes. I need to feel like I'm alive. You're my chemical love. You're the poison in my brain. I need, it's driving me insane. You're my chemical love. You're the sickly sweet disguise. I need to bandage up the lies with a chemical love. This next song is a cover of the Suburbs by Arcade Fire. This is one of my favourite songs to listen to, and this is my kind of reimagination of the track in my style. Here it is. In the suburbs, I learned to drive, and you told me we'd never survive. Grab your mother
Next up is the last cover before we delve into some of my own original material. This is I Wish You'd Make Me Cry by the incredible UPSAHL.
When I'm getting bored, I start some drama. When I'm too messed up, you let me out. When I chew you out, you're so unbothered. I'm trying to stir it up, I need your help. I know it's only natural, but can we pretend to be cruel? Sometimes I wish you'd make me cry. Sometimes I wish that we would fight. Tell me, don't you hate it? But it's overrated. Tell the nice guy to give me a taste of my medicine. I wish you'd make me cry. I get angry and I try to call it off, but you don't play along, you keep it fair. You keep saying you just want good karma, but she's a bitch like me who doesn't care. I know it's only natural, but can we pretend to be cruel? Sometimes I wish you'd make me cry. Sometimes I wish that we would fight. Tell me, don't you hate it? But it's overrated. Tell the nice guy to give me a taste of my medicine. I wish you'd make me cry. Can we just forget that we're in love real quick and talk about how you want me to change? Don't you hate it when I hate on all your newest kicks? Or when I never say I'm home, or how I get when we're alone, or I am always on my phone. I wish that you would tell me off. Sometimes I wish you'd make me cry. Sometimes I wish that we would fight. Tell me, don't you hate it? But it's overrated. Tell the nice guy to give me a taste of my medicine. I wish you'd make me cry. I wish you'd make me cry.
Now I have a brand new original song to play for you. It's actually the title track from my upcoming EP, which will be out later this year, which will be very exciting. If you want to keep up to date with all of my music, drop me a follow on Instagram, Twitter, etc. At I am Cameron Hayes. That's shameless self-promo, I know. This is Medicine.
Broke my bones for you, did everything I could, but I misunderstood. When you love yourself, destruct, wasted so much time.
Next up, we have Super Ego. This is my latest single. I've just released a remix EP for this as well, so check it out. Most of the tracks you've heard or will be hearing are available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, etc., under Cameron Hayes, and this is Super Ego.
No need to reach heaven. It's a curse, not a blessing. Those willing eyes internalized. Are you gonna let them cry? 'Cause good girls don't make history. Let's add a little mystery. Let's lose control. You live by your super ego, and you're gonna learn to let go. 'Cause the devil on your shoulder, she wants ya. You're really your super ego. Think of all the fun down below. Time's not gonna wait for you to forgo your super ego. Your super ego. So bittersweet, the memory. Always trying to be perfect, but let me tell you it's not worth it. All of the time you wasted by living life to be divine. 'Cause bad girls, they make history. Let's revel in the mystery. Let's lose control. You live by your super ego, and you're gonna learn to let go. The devil on your shoulder, she wants ya. You live in your super ego. Think of all the fun down below. Time's not gonna wait for you to forgo. Welcome to the dark side, honey. Oh, welcome to the dark side, honey. Oh, welcome to the dark side, honey. Hey, welcome to the dark side, honey. Honey, you live by your super ego, and you gotta learn to let go. It's the devil on your shoulder, she wants ya. You're really your super ego. Think of all the fun down below. Time's not gonna wait for you to forgo your super ego. Your super ego. Your super ego. Your super ego.
We had a runaway mic during that performance. Oh. Right, to carry on. This is the penultimate track of the set. I released this song earlier in the year, which really feels like a lifetime ago now. I also put out a live acoustic version out, and I did my first ever music video for this song, which is available on YouTube. So this is Drown. Hopefully, this will stay put for this one.
Say
Congrats on making it to the end of my session. Now to finish, we have one of my favourite songs I've ever written. It's called Suffocate Me, and as you can tell from the title, it's a very happy song. It will be coming out on the EP later this year as well. Just want to say thank you again for watching, and thank you to Burst Radio and to Bristol Uni for having me. And this is Suffocate Me. Fell in too fast, didn't know where I was from, didn't know where I belonged. Just take my hand and lead me to the phone, 'cause I'm going home. And I'll say what you wanna hear. I'll show you that I don't fear you. I needed to feel like I was someone, but you took me. And now the feeling's numb. What we had, lessons learned. Don't know what you think I deserve. You suffocate me. I know running was not right to do, but you made me feel so blue. Trapped in myself, I couldn't leave. You took that from me, and I'll say what you wanna hear. I'll show you that I won't fear you. I needed to feel like I was someone, but you took me. And now the feeling's numb. What we had, lessons learned. Don't know what you think I deserve. You suffocate me. Yeah, you suffocate me. No. It's what you do to me, do to me. No, it's what you do to me. No. Oh, it's what you do to me, do to me. It's what you do to me, do to me. It's what you do to me, 'cause I needed to feel like I was someone, but you took me. And now I feel is numb. What we had, lessons learned. Don't know what you think I deserve.
Hello, Burst Radio, and welcome to another live lounge series. This week we're joined by Cameron Hayes. Oh, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, and not at all. And because your live lounge session was just amazing, and you've got such a rich and pure voice. So thank you for doing that.
No, it's my pleasure. I had so much fun, like so much fun doing it.
No, definitely. Right, I'm going to go straight in. No messing about. So, what would you, if you had to describe to someone, what is your music about? Almost in terms of like its meaning and what it has, what meaning does it have to you?
Yeah. To be honest with you, like every song that I write and anything I put out, all comes from me in different ways. Like sometimes if something's happened, I'll write a song based on like how I'm feeling about something. Sometimes I write like based on like a friend telling me what's going on in their life, and then I'm like, oh no, and then secretly it's oh, that's a good songwriting material. Yeah, and then to be honest with you, it's just a case of I kind of write whenever I feel like inspired to write, and when something happens, whether it's like a happy emotion or it's like an angry one or sad, and it's just basically making it as authentic as possible, to be honest.
Sure. So would you say kind of to quite a large extent you find music is almost a way of expressing yourself and maybe like processing things that are happening?
Yeah, 100%. Like that's how I originally started writing songs. Like I started writing songs when I was 11, which means I've been writing songs for a decade now, which makes me feel really old. But yeah, like that was always my way of like, I'm not sure how to process something or like say words like to someone, so I'm going to put it in song form. And yeah, I still definitely do that to this day, for sure.
Yeah, because I think what's lovely about your music is you can so hear that through your voice, and almost you can kind of hear the fact that you are trying to tell a story within the music, and I think that's really wonderful. Yeah, but okay, so in terms of, would you be able to paint us a picture of your music writing process? I mean, almost from start to finish, about the writing and also like the recording.
Yeah, so it varies very much, like song to song and also person to person. Like sometimes I write songs literally here by myself at like midnight, and then like glass of wine,
Yeah,
and then
it's
very
shot.
much like I've had a glass of wine, I'm like, oh, I feel this song coming on. Yeah, so that's always a very solitary process. But then also there's like the whole writing in like with sessions with one or two or three different people. But it usually starts either with I'd be like, I don't know, hoovering or whatever, and then a little song idea would come into my head, and then I'd be melody, and then I'd write that. Sometimes, like I said before, it's based on an emotion, and then other times it's just yeah, it's just like really, if I just play a random chord on the piano, I'm like, that's pretty, make a song. But yeah, so it definitely varies, but it's a case of usually I'll like write a song either on guitar or on piano, and then like kind of produce it up. I use the word producing lightly because I'm not the best producer in the world. Just basically put it on my computer and then like try and visualize what I want it to sound like.
No, sure. And
Yeah.
would you say you're a perfectionist in terms of it's got to be perfect, or are you or do you allow yourself just to kind of get stuff out there and not kind of matter that much about how it sounds?
Yeah, so I'm definitely more of a perfectionist, which I hate sometimes. It's the kind of thing where, like, especially when it comes to putting out songs, the amount of songs that I write and work on that never see the light of day because there's just like hundreds of them, and then there's a select few that go out and they're like the singles or the EP tracks, and it's like, oh, there's a lot of pressure. This has to represent me and the other 100 songs I've written in the past month.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always about kind of making sure it represents me enough, and I think it sounds great, but at the same time, not just like going through everything like second by second and being like, that can change.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I do sometimes, but I'm trying to do less for sure.
Definitely. So, and obviously, the past few months have been you know, like strange to say the least. And like, how have they been for you? And have you found them, you know, and especially because everyone's been spending quite a bit more time on their own, and you know, have you found that kind of beneficial, or are you kind of really missing the whole kind of that euphoric feeling of the live performance?
Yeah, I mean, the whole lockdown thing's been really strange. Like the first 2 weeks, I was like, right, I opened Excel. I was like, this is a plan, day to day, what I'm gonna do. It's
Oh,
music,
yeah.
like make the most of it. And then it got to like the second week, and then I was like, we're in a pandemic. I'm really stressed about this. And then it took me like a few weeks really from that, where I basically just like did just other hobby stuff, like cook a bit and play
Yeah.
Sims a lot, and
No,
that kind of,
cool.
yeah. And yeah, and then basically once that had kind of passed and stuff, just to be honest, just been writing loads, like myself. And it's been weird not being in rooms with people, but we've been doing sessions over Zoom, which have weirdly been working well. Like I'd
Yeah,
never writing a song over a computer would work, but it
yeah.
does.
Is there not a bit of a delay in terms of like the time, or does that not really matter?
It actually, like, it makes everything quicker. Like I found with doing sessions and stuff, like because you never want it to be that awkward silence and that like awkward, like when you're having like a video chat, you don't want it to be like and you're kind of like constantly throwing out ideas. And then it's good because then like you can mute the other person, get on with your own stuff, and then like check in on them. And yeah, so it's been working well, but obviously it's not the same as like being in a room with someone, um for sure, for writing, but at the same time has worked quite well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Mm.
And okay, so I'm going to go there. Inspirations wise, I mean, I read somewhere you mentioned you can, you know, Adele, and I mean, if you had to kind of, I know it's kind of an annoying question, but if you had to put on paper kind of who, I guess who you know, there's different questions, who you look up to as an artist, or maybe who you've been inspired by. I mean, who would you go for?
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up like just always watching MTV, like from when I was just tiny.
Yeah,
So I've always had like such a broad range of artists that I've listened to. There's always been like music in the house, and there's like artists like Kate Bush and Tori Amos that I really kind of heard, and Delta Goodrem as well, which I haven't thought about her in years, but
yeah,
I really got into them, and they kind of like inspired me into what making music could be. And then as stuff like progressed, I kind of went through like the really like indie phase, and then everything kind of, I started listening to a lot more electronic stuff. I mean now I kind of draw a lot of inspiration from other artists that are in like just in the kind of the same field as me, but kind of very different at the same time. Like one person I love at the moment is Ashniko. She's just like the coolest person ever. And then I'll listen to her songs and be like, wow, she's managed to take that topic and do it in this way. And then it's like, oh, that's so cool. I want to make a song that is my version of that.
yeah.
So it just really varies, to be honest with you. It's just a whole host of artists really growing up.
No,
Shape.
definitely. And
Yeah,
I guess it's probably one of those things that is constantly changing, and also, yeah, like you said, on top of that, it's kind of, it's never really just I guess with all art, it's never really, you know, inspired by kind of one specific
yeah,
person or movement. It's always kind of, it's sort of more kind of holistic and like three-dimensional than that. And okay, so I've got a specific question. So you could write and sing a song with anyone, dead or alive, and perform it with them. Um, could you pick someone?
oh my goodness.
I know. I've gone there. I've gone there.
Yeah, you have. Oh my goodness. God, I would say, the pressure. I don't know really. I would say definitely someone who I kind of, yeah, I honestly don't know. You've stumped me on this one. I would say really anyone from like kind of like I said before, like Kate Bush, just for in terms of just like classic female, just be awesome. And
Yeah.
then at the same time, there's like other artists that I've grown up with, and then there's like weird collabs I do. Like one person I've always wanted to do a song with is Jack Garrett. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I've
But
heard of him.
yeah, his stuff's just so cool, and it's like it's less in the way of like, oh, it's Mariah Carey. I want to sing with Mariah Carey because I mean she's cool, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be upstaged if I'm being honest.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I'm always up for working with anyone. I don't. Yeah, God, you really went there with that question.
Well, no, it could be one if it could be one to think about, definitely. And yeah. So Cameron Hughes, when you're not writing or singing, what do you like to do?
Yeah, so well, I used to like going out and seeing my do that at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
But no, so I really like got into cooking recently, which has been fun. Like Japanese, Chinese cooking, just getting really weird with it. Which is
Sushi?
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
sushi. Made sushi,
Oh wow.
made trying to make like steamed dumplings and stuff and all that kind of thing. And then yeah, so really just like cooking, playing PlayStation sometimes, just like
Yeah.
get my anger out through the means of gay.
Yeah.
And yeah, just kind of like just taking time for myself really, because like the music takes up so much of my time, and then
Definitely.
it's kind of just like self-care stuff really, because I always put it on the back burner, but I think it's so important to do for sure.
And yeah, and I guess also at the same time, you know, when you're doing like, creative work is mentally tiring and draining, and I guess you almost I always think to be able to do the creative work that you want to do, you need the mental downtime when you're not doing it, and to enable you to be able to do it, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
That's so important. Like it's something that I never used to give enough thought into. It was just music every day, all day, wake up, go to bed, and then like it just tires you out, like emotionally and mentally. And now I just kind of have my downtime and my breaks where I just switch off, which is lovely.
And I think also what's hard is, you know, when you do you know, when there are more kind of the conventional jobs where you come home from work and you're, you know, you can kind of forget about it and, you know, leave your job at the door kind of thing. It's I always find with things like writing and well, yeah, I guess most creative jobs, it's kind of hard to find that kind of boundary between where you are and aren't working, because I guess subconsciously a lot of the time it's easy to always be thinking about your work. So yeah.
It is a constant like, oh, I could do this for a photo shoot for this, and the artwork for this could be this, and and I'm like, I was watching a film the other day, and I was like, I was watching Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix one, and I was watching it, and then I was loving it, but then my brain shifted to this would be a really good song, like writing it from his perspective, and then I was kind of like, do I get my laptop out and make notes as I watch? And I was like, no, that's too far. Yeah, the switching off is so important, and I guess it's something that I've kind of like I wouldn't say mastered, but kind of like got over the past few months for sure.
Have you got any plans to come to Bristol in the next kind of year or so?
I would like to. I've got a couple friends at Bristol Uni, and I've got I've got some of my boyfriend's friends as well from there, and we've kind of planning if Miss Corona leaves the stage, to certainly come for sure. Be really nice. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your amazing live lounge session, and thanks for speaking to Burst Radio.
Thank you so much.